All right, we're live. I might.
Yep, we're live.
Okay. I don't know why. Oh, am I the one doing? Of course, it happens.
It says we're on air.
Yeah, I might have my YouTube video. Wait, that didn't work. Oh. I had two restream tabs open. Okay, I apologize, everybody. I was working so hard on my computer. When I went to go live, my computer said I quit. So then I had to restart my computer. But then when I restarted it, I opened up another tab with the same thing. So I was logged into the stream twice. So I was echoing. So I apologize for that. Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited. Today we have Megan on. Say hi if you're watching us live. Megan, you may know Megan from.
You have the YouTube open still somewhere, I think, because I'm hearing it too.
What? Really? Is everybody else hearing it? No, I don't. I don't.
Maybe it's me. Someone does.
Do you have the YouTube open? We're a mess today.
Patricia's here.
Hi, Patricia. Patricia, can you hear an echo? I don't have the
Just a sec.
YouTube open.
I don't know. Trying to figure that out. Not that one.
Different YouTube. Is it still echoing? It's not usually this much of a mess. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, I've closed everything, so
Okay.
it has to be me maybe this time. I don't know.
Okay, it's not echoing for Patricia. Is it echoing for you still?
No, it stopped.
Okay. So you must have had the YouTube open. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Anyways, I was really excited to get Megan on here, and you may know Megan. You might know her from the school group. I'm obsessed with the school group, by the way. You guys are awesome, and it's been such a fun week with you guys. And I will, if you're watching this and you're not a part of the school group, it will be in the description box, or I'll pop it in I'll pop the invite link into the chat there so that you have it if you're not part of it. But I'm obsessed with it. I've had so much fun with you guys this week. But Megan is this amazing curriculum creator. And that's not actually even what we have her on here for today. She has created a back office for your online teaching business that is the most amazing thing that I have ever seen before. Like, I'm obsessed with this. It's amazing. I know a few teachers have started using it and they are obsessed with it. It's amazing, and it's going to save so much time in your online teaching business. It's going to be like primarily if you're teaching like reading or writing or like ESL English, like that kind of stuff. Oh, Patricia said gaining the levels is fun. You have to interact. Did you see what I named them in the school group? The levels.
Yeah, they're fun. Mine alerted me today that I had unlocked a level as well.
What level are you on?
I'm on level 3.
Okay, so that level three is a rookie survivor. You are now a rookie survivor. So everyone that starts, they're lost in the chaos. And that kind of like fits it because everybody comes in, they're like, what am I doing here? And then level 2, you're a teaching zombie. Level 3, you are now a survivor. So you're not that. I am now I've gone through Coffee Dependent and I'm now at Classroom Hero. I'm at level 5 in that group. So if you're watching this, let me know in the comments what level you're at. Okay. Megan, I'm going to hand the floor to you, and you can go ahead and tell me like why you created this and who it's for, and show whatever you got to show.
Sure. So I have created the Teacher Hub, and essentially it's sort of in response to the fact that I teach myself, and I wanted to really have something that was professional and streamlined, but fast for my parents, so that I don't need to spend a lot of time recording lessons. I don't need to spend a lot of time writing comments. I literally can just click and go on to my next lesson between lessons, and the parent has an up-to-date link. I've shared all of the resources, so I don't have to go and download the workbook. I don't have to go and grab the link for the games. Everything is just there for them. And the other piece of it was, of course, learning plans. So after I have a new student, I had already created a learning plan generator, but I still had to copy and paste that into a Canva template and create it. And there goes my cat who was sitting on my shoulder. So it was still a lot of work. And the generator sort of helped, and it gave you ideas for the goals and those types of things. But this is even more streamlined. So I'm going to sort of start by showing the sort of the end result, I guess, because I think that's a little bit more exciting. So if we take a look, what you will see is the actual parent hub or the parent report. So this is what parents see. And
Do you have to send this every time, or
nope.
so they have one link that they can always go to and see what's going on?
Yep,
I love that.
exactly.
I love that.
And what you'll see sort of, and so this one is just a sample. So what you'll see is I have my information. I've got an image, I've got my email, my website, the messaging WeChat. It usually has your WeChat address, but I just took it out just for this purpose. And then it has a button to book a lesson, which jumps me over to my calendar where students can book. It has the assessment summary. And so this is based on the placement assessment, which is available for free from Florentis Learning if you haven't checked out the placement. So it gives us the SEFR levels. And then we have, of course, the learning plan that was generated based on that. All of this is completely customizable, but you can, it's right here. And then if you decide to do a reassessment and update the learning plan, then it replaces it and you get an updated one. And then, of course, this is what I mean by the lesson feedback. So this was core curriculum level 2, the food and food groups unit, lesson 5, and the title of that, and then the scores in terms of how he's progressing with speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Next steps, you can put a note in or not. And so I just added a little payment is due, please note, because they're running out of credits. You will see I've got links to flashcards and homework and to a game. The flashcards and the homework workbook are, they live now on QQ Docs. So that means if you're teaching students in China, these links work versus something that's on Google Drive, which of course that doesn't work for parents in China very easily. So this just opens up, they can download it and it's good to go. And then I've got, of course, my quick little teacher note. So this is what you end up with. Now, you might think, oh, that looks like a lot of work, but it's really not. And that's sort of the beauty of all of this. So your info for parent reports, which is that little card at the top with your name and your phone number, not your phone number, your name and your booking link, you literally just fill it in once. And you can fill in what you want. So you can include your name, your website, email, whatever you want, your booking links. You can include a photo, and you can choose from a whole variety of messaging platforms. So if you use WhatsApp instead of WeChat or whatever it is that works for you, you can then put that information in here.
Can you
And
click on that drop down box there for WeChat and see what it says there so we can see everything?
yep, so we have WeChat, WhatsApp. Oh, I
Oh,
don't
it's
know
not
why
showing.
that's
Okay.
not showing.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Well, I had planned to share the whole window. Anyway, I don't know why you don't see that part. But it's got WeChat, WhatsApp, Line, Telegram, Signal, Messenger, Cowcow Talk, Viber, other. So you can put whatever you want. So it's got oodles of choices. And then you save it. So once you've saved your profile once, you can just hide it and leave it closed, and you don't have to look at it again. You can then add your students, and as you teach lessons, the records are over here. Then if I decide, well, Queenie's no longer active anymore, I'm not really teaching her because she's taking a break for Chinese New Year and I don't want to look at her on my list, I just click the little inactive button. She will disappear from my list, but she's not gone. She's on my inactive screen. And if I filter by inactive, I can see I have Queenie here, and I can literally, oh, she's back. I can set her active again. So I can keep my dashboard super clean and, just deal with the students that I'm dealing with right now. You also have the date that you last taught their lesson, and you can see their levels, and you can use any of these little action buttons. So the first one, the green check mark, is just to record progress. So if we wanted to add another lesson for Bobby, we would click on the record progress, and I'm going to choose core curriculum. You'll notice at the top, just in case I forgot, it tells me what I taught last. So core curriculum level 2, and it's the food and food groups unit. And then I select the lesson, and none of the drop downs are appearing. I'm going to stop sharing and just see if I can reshare, because that's sort of annoying.
Yeah, I don't know why, because you did share whole screen there, so I don't know why I did
Yeah.
that.
All right, let's try that again. So yes, okay, now we see them. So you can just choose your level. As you choose and populate the groups, you then get the next item to choose from. So he just did lesson 5. So I'm going to put in lesson 6. You'll notice, and this is where the magic comes in, there is a sample comment here that's based on the lesson, and it has all of these student first tokens. When you hit save, these are automatically replaced with the student's name. So if you're happy with the comment, you can literally leave it and write nothing. And then if there's links already existing for the unit, they'll just appear here. If you want to add an extra, you can, but you don't have to. And then you just give them some scores. So today we were doing really well. We didn't do any writing, so I'm going to leave that blank today. And 5 on engagement. I taught the lesson today. I also don't need to fill in the date. If you are a teacher that does class recordings, you can drop your link here. If not, it doesn't appear, so they don't know that some teachers do class recordings. If you've got a next step, you can put that here. And if you have your own teacher note that you want to add that's different, you can do that as well. And you just hit save. So you could literally select the lesson and hit the stars, and that would be it. And if we go,
Wait, go back. Can
Yeah.
you go back to it? Okay. I want to point out here, because I don't know if that was said, in those pre-populated boxes where it has the little parentheses there where it says like first name, those are going to automatically put the student's first name in the actual feedback. So yeah, so you see where it said like in there, I don't know if you caught it before, but before it said like student first name or something. It's not going to show that when they actually do the feedback. It's going to show where it says teacher note, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can see right here that now the lesson feedback, this is the one we just added. You can see today's date. It says Bobby. And so it automatically populated all of those with his name. And
I just got something saying that they can't hear us.
I thought we resolved our technical issues at the beginning.
I think
so.
I don't know. Lori said that Lori's been commenting in the school group, so she can hear us. Let me just double check here. I'm going to go on live and see if I can hear us on live.
Okay. If Lori should come and comment on YouTube. Lori's been using the Teacher Hub. So, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
All right. Are you on live?
Hold on real quick.
All right.
I'm going into it right now.
While we're doing that, maybe what I'll do is I'll just scroll through a lesson, because you don't need to be able to hear me for that. For people who haven't seen our lessons, I can hear you.
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Okay. That is not one of us. I'm going to let her know in the comments.
Okay. So I will just, as I was going to scroll through a lesson anyway, which isn't sort of why we were here, but I will. So if this was Bobby's lesson today, I'd type in his name. I'd choose that he's a boy. And what our lessons had before was there was still a feedback template, and you can still use that if you want. The lessons, most of them have custom songs, so things like Celebrations Around the World is specific. This is an example of a level 3 lesson, and it's at the end of level 3, so it is certainly a little bit more advanced than some of our sort of level 1 lessons, which literally we start with like, what's your name? You can see very visual. There's listening prompts with listening questions to follow up. And then there are some short stories, lots of fun, visual, built-in reward systems. But we click through. I'm just going to click a little faster. We've got some grammar in here where you do some fill in the blanks and dragging. These lessons work really well if you're using something like Koala Go, simply because your students can click to, and they often enjoy that, but they work equally well on something like Zoom or Voo, whatever you're working with. And this one is an example of one of our speaking slides where you can put your people heads in and you can swap roles if you want. It does pull the student's name from the very first screen, and they can choose some answers and go from there. So they've got some guided role play. And then originally we had all of these. So lesson feedback, where you can go through and fill in your things. And you can still use this if this is what you prefer. But then you have to screenshot it and send it to the parent each time. And you also have to change your child to reflect the student's name. So, it works. It's just a little bit more time consuming than if you're using the Teacher Hub, which is just fully automated and super cool. So if we go back to the Hub, we've seen the end result. We've recorded a lesson. Let's look at the learning plan. So if you have a brand new student, you can literally add the student. So we're going to add Jillian. And let's go with Jillian is 8. And I'm going to just put a level in here just to start. And then I'm just going to hit add. So I don't have to fill in very much of that. Oops, I hit add twice. Sometimes you do that. I'll make one of them inactive for now. Don't hit add twice, so you get them twice. So here's Jillian. And we've just finished our trial lesson. We used the Florentis Learning Placement Assessment, and we know what her score was. And so we're going to create a learning plan for the parent. So we're going to go to add assessment, and I'm going to choose the general English placement because that's what we did. And Jillian got 15 points today. So now don't fill in all of this stuff. Come down here to the bottom and hit pre-fill. And this is magical. You get core curriculum. Oh, we should have gotten level 1. Unit 6, we get a comment. And I'm still working on changing it so we can have she, but the names all work. And we have our stars. So this is where we have our stars. So this is our initial star score that will appear on that learning plan. It's a great job listening. And we're going to create a learning plan from the assessment. So let's, from here, we're going to save the assessment, and it's going to take us to our learning plan screen. So I want to recommend 3 classes per week, and my classes are 25 minutes. And I can type in these boxes, or I can grab a few strengths and a few areas from improvement. These are based on the SEFR levels, so you should be able to find things that you like. And so if you don't, just type your own, or if you have things you really want added that are generic, you can put we can consider adding them. So we match pictures to words, recognize familiar objects. We want to improve on moving from words to short sentences. and we want to practice common CVC words, and answer yes and no and WH questions. So that's sort of the goal. You'll notice that this is the comment. This is the comment we had on the last screen. You can still adjust it if you want, but it is here and ready.
Oh, it says Jillian R instead of Jillian is, just so you know.
Oh, that is because I will change that, but I know how to fix that. I can adjust that in the coding. So short-term goals. So I can pick some, and you don't have to pick some from all of these. You can think about what the parents have indicated they want their students to improve. A lot of my students really want their kids to improve speaking skills, right? So I usually always pick a speaking one, and I want them to maybe be able to write short greetings and notes because I also teach writing. And we're going to complete core level 2 and advance to A1. And I do want to share the learning plan on the Parent Hub. I'm going to go with level 2, and I am going to be using the pre-beginner writing curriculum. I'm going to save my learning plan. And
I love this. Really quick, I
yep.
have to ask you. So you're talking and explaining through this. How long does this actually take you to do when you're doing it?
Oh, like seconds, not very long at all. I just go click, 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 and I'm done.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Because then right here, if I go here, so you have a choice with your learning plan. Here's a learning plan, right? So I could, if I want to send a picture, I could do that. I could print it to a PDF and send it, or I can go back to the Teacher Hub and I can grab my parent link and send it that.
Do you guys see how nice this looks? This is so nice looking. It's got like it's branded. I mean, oh, it looks so good. I love this.
And if teachers have suggestions and they're like, oh, I really wish it could do this, or you really want an extra box of some sort up on your information, your teacher info, that's fine too, right? We can add that, and then it just becomes optional. And if it's filled in, then it appears, and if it isn't filled in, it doesn't appear. A lot of the additions are sort of as I've been using it and playing with it with my students. I'm like, oh, I wish I could do this, and then I go and I add it. So if we go back to the Teacher Hub, we have now just grabbed Jillian's link, and we just, this is the link. Copy the link from up here. This is the link you're going to send to the parent. And you'll see we've got our learning plan all set. And so this one, of course, because we haven't had any lessons yet, doesn't have any lesson feedback, but there is the learning plan. And so the heart of all of this really is working from your Teacher Hub, and you can edit your student information right on your Teacher Hub. So if you wanted to add a level change, if you want to put their native language, if you want to put another note, you have that option. There's Lori. Yes, Lori has been using this. I know she has, because we talked about it the other day with some of her students. So it's awesome. She's saying this is a game changer.
That's why I had to bring her on here. I was like, oh, everybody needs to see this. This is crazy. I love it.
And then we're just ready. We just go and add a record, right? So if you want to use the ones that are there, you don't have to do anything. Core curriculum, we are going with level 2. I'm going to choose the unit we just taught. It was Let's Go to the Zoo. And my lesson, we did the elephant and bear lesson, and everything populates. Grab some stars for today and hit save. So super quick, it's done. There is, and the parent can go and refresh their link, and they have today's link and information.
So Lori wants to know if you're able to teach on the hub too. You cannot teach on it, but you can put the classroom link in there, can't you?
Yeah, I was just actually thinking that we have the book a lesson, but I could put a big button as well that would be like go to Classroom or something. So
I
people have a
I like
consistent
that.
Classroom link. Yeah.
Well, that would only be that wouldn't be per student though, right? So if like you had per
No, no, but if you teach on Koala Go, for instance, you only have one. Or if you use like Voov, you might have one. So it depends, but lots of times you might have one link.
okay.
And I
But
can make it so that it's an optional button. So if you don't fill it out, then it doesn't appear.
okay, cool, cool.
Yeah. Um, so the the Teacher Hub is sort of meant to, and you'll notice we've done some lessons today. Here's our lessons right here on the side. So I come in and I can see, oh yeah, there's my latest lessons. I can just look at a glance and be ready to teach the next lesson.
What I
Um,
what I really like about this is sometimes you'll have a student that goes on vacation or they stop taking lessons because of financial reasons or whatever reason for a couple of months. And then they come back and you're like, okay, now I got to figure out what we're doing again. What did we do last? Where did we go last? And you can easily see where they were before. You could give them another assessment just to see if they need to go move on to another lesson, but you have everything in there. You have your internal teacher notes, you have everything in there.
Yeah, one of the things actually, I was talking to another teacher the other day, last week, I think, and she actually recently switched to Florentis from another curriculum, and she loves it and is really enjoying it. But what she did do was she decided to do the placement assessment because she had never done one of those with her students before, and so she did 11 placement assessments, I think, and she said that what she found was some of the students she had actually under placed. It doesn't autofill. No, you have to select it. You just select your lessons that you've taught as you go through. So it's just the quick, if you go back to your teacher hub, and I'm just on the student profile page. Before I go back, I'll just show that. So Jillian mentioned teacher that goes away. You find the student profile. You'll have all of the assessment records you've done. You'll have all of the recent feedback. Everything is here. If you needed to edit a feedback record, it's from your student profile page. You can just click edit and change it. But if we go back to the teacher hub, so in terms of after you finish teaching, you literally just click the green button, select the lesson, the curriculum, the level, the unit, and the lesson, and your stars, and hit save. And that's it. You're done. So take seconds to log a lesson. And you then, if you can always resend your parent link. So if you're teaching on something where you've got a spot that you shove feedback, you can just copy and paste your parent link right in there for the parent so that they have it at quick glance.
Yeah, it's not actually connected to a classroom, so it's not going to know when you're teaching a student unless you tell it to. So that's why it can't
Yep.
autofill. You've got to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and then this complete percentage, this is based on the number of lessons in a level. It will calculate the percentage of the way through that level. If you start partway through, because sometimes the placement assessment would recommend, for instance, you start at level 6, then you would just go in and you would say, oh, Jillian has already mastered the first 35 lessons. And we're going to hit save. And now Jillian is 41% of the way through that level 2. So
What I really love about this, and I don't know if I have told you guys yet. Hold on, I'm going to put me on here so you can actually see me when I'm talking to you. Here, we're going to come over here. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know how obsessed I am with Florentis learning. Everything that she does, everything that Florentis Learning has is exactly how I recommend you. And part of this is because Megan's in Teacher Boss Society, but it's exactly how I recommend that you run your online teaching business. It is exactly how I recommend you do your trials, your assessments. I call them assessments. It's exactly how I recommend you communicate with parents, your cat there. It is like it aligns exactly with how I run my online teaching business. So it's amazing. So you go in there, and if you have a new student, if you're new to this and you've never been in here before, you've never seen Florentis before, um, basically what happens, you get a brand new student and you need to run a trial or an assessment with them. I always call them assessments. But you have to run a trial with them. You have to do a level placement. So she has what she's talking about here. She's got this level placement. When she's saying like, oh, she scored like a 35 or whatever, that's what would be what I scored on my placement. So this is interactive curriculum. Can you show this really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. She's going to show it. I'm going to go away.
Here is the placement assessment is free. So it's available to anyone, whether you're using Florentis yet or not. If you're not using it yet, obviously I'm biased and I think that you should, and you'll want to grab it soon, because on Monday is the last day for our founding members. And so that means that the price is going up, and the Teacher Hub is going to be an additional add-on, and it's so right now you can get it for $10 a month. It's the best deal you will ever get for everything.
I am not biased. Okay. I am not biased. I have seen a lot of different curriculum. I have used a lot of different curriculum. Um, and I guess maybe I'm biased a little bit because, you know, we're friends or whatever, but like, I don't have a referral link. I don't have, you know, anything for this. I am not financially biased for this in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody should have a free trial or the free plan of this at the very least, because it gives you this. This is your, if you are teaching ESL, you should definitely have this. Even the cat thinks so. Like, it is so good.
Absolutely, the cat agrees.
But this is your assessment that you'll be giving your students to figure out what they already know and where you should place them. You don't have to like figure it out on your own.
And so you work through really until they start to get some wrong. So if they're getting 2 or 3 wrong, then that's time to stop. And someone asked me about these the other day, so I'll just sort of highlight it. These drag, and so you put them in order, and then you hit submit, and so you just move them in place. If you're using a co-browser, then students can drag them themselves. My students love to drag them. They think that it's great fun to play with the lessons. This one is how many candles. So we're looking, they have to know candles and they have to be able to count. So we're testing 2 skills in one. This one is a labeling one again, so just dragging it. We have a listening activity, so you're going to listen and choose. So the robot is on the bed. Yes, it is. So again, we need to listen, we need to know robot, we need to know bed, and we need to know on. So it's testing multiple things. These ones are speaking ones. So what's this? And then you just sort of drag this up and the teacher would rate the response. And then there's some tips here. So at this level, students can respond with a sentence or one word, and both of them would be considered satisfactory. And so we've got a couple of speaking questions, and then we talk about some pictures, and then we move on. So that would give us a score out of 12. Up at the top, you can check your score, and you'll see right now we've got 8 answers. I didn't fill in all the answers, so that's part of the reason. And then you just continue. And so the questions get progressively more difficult. There are a total of 50 points. You'll see here we're getting into grammar, and we are doing comparatives. We are getting into possessives and appropriate responses, listening activities again. And yeah, so my cat is always here. She's here when I'm teaching, and all of my students know her name. Her name is Decibel. So because you can hear her, that is where she completely got her name, is that science-y background of being loud and chatting. So she likes to make sure that everyone knows that she's present. And then you'll see that we're back into speaking questions. And so it just does. It gets progressively more difficult. And they are aligned with Cepher. So that's why you see pre-A1, A1, etc. Even the types of questions that you see in terms of the speaking questions are similar to what students might see in test prep. So once you're done, you'll have a score. You pull your score off of it, and that's what you put into your placement assessment, and then it will calculate for you. So it is it's fun. And students like it. It's all of the lessons are colorful and bright and modern looking, interactive. And if you're doing test prep, I do test prep. So if you're doing test prep, then you certainly will want to check out the lessons, because even things like, I thought I had, no, I closed it. Even things, so there are test prep lessons specifically. We have KET and FCE B2 first at the moment. I'm not sure why that's the case in this account, but anyway, I will check that. But the test prep lessons have the KET. There's 4 units so far. There will be a 10 total, and each unit has 4 lessons. They are all formatted in the same style as the Cambridge exam questions. And the last lesson in each of the themes is a speaking practice lesson. There's writing activities built in, there's listening, there's speaking, there's all of those things.
So Diane wants to know, how many students can you assess back to back? Is there a limit on how many assessments you can do?
You can do as many as you want. So I guess it depends on how many hours you want to teach consistently in a row. But yeah, you can do an assessment and then just reset it and do another assessment. And
another thing, can you real quick, as long as you're showing everything here, can you show the writing assessment?
yes, I can.
So this is something that I am absolutely obsessed with. If you don't know, I teach writing. I teach English writing, a combination of ESL and ELA. And Megan was so wonderful enough to create a writing assessment that I could use in my lessons. So I'm kind of obsessed with this. And it's taken straight out of my playbook here, and made way better than I ever did my assessments.
So we work through. This one is a little bit different. It does have some auto marking ones, but obviously you have you're having students write, so you're going to have to evaluate it to some extent. You do have evaluation criteria for each of the writing tasks available on your screen. And more importantly, you have a rubric that you would use for each of them. The writing lessons are sort of similar, so this would give them a bit of a hint, right? With the visuals, how does it feel? What do you think? All of those things. In that, you can pull things out from places, and there's tips that you can pull information back from previous lessons. This one is error correction, and then we have a third writing task. So with this one, and there's information at the very beginning about how to use it. The reality is you might do 1, you might do 2, or you might do 3 writing tasks. And you might skip the first one because you determine that it's too easy. And then you might just do the second and third one. With these, you're using a rubric to assess their writing. And so for task 1, which is the simplest one with just some sentences, you're using criteria 1 to 3, which is your grammar and syntax, your vocabulary, and your sentence structure. And you just literally give them a 3, 2, 1. So you just grab a number quickly. For task 2, you use criteria 1 through 4. That's where we're getting into the descriptive language with like look, see, feel, hear, and touch. And then for task 3, you use all of them. So and it gives you the scores for each of them. So this is the writing rubric. It can be out of a maximum of 39 points. There are beginner writing lessons. So for your very beginner students, probably level 2 in Florentis, you could start the writing, or partway through level 1 would work as well. And you're working on sentences, periods, capital letters, putting together a few sentences. It's very, very similar to what you would see with writing workshops in Canadian classrooms. So kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, they're all doing writing workshops. And so the sort of the pre-beginner or the level 1 writing is very much intended to be for those students. So this is the writing assessment. If you are teaching writing, you definitely want to check out sort of the assessment tips. There is some information about the separate levels in here as well. There's also a link to a guide on assessing writing from Cambridge English. And no, I see Diane's question. Will the price ever go up for founding members? No, the price, once you've got your price, you've got your price. So if you purchase at $9.99, and as long as you maintain your membership and don't cancel, you get the Teacher Hub and all of the lessons, currently 600 lessons, soon to be 603, because I have 3 lessons that I just have to review one more time before they go up for level 5. In the level 5 Going Places curriculum, the Going Places unit is super cool. It's about things like the longest tunnel in the world and bridges, and it's more of an engineering type unit. It's super interesting.
Really quick, I'm going to share my
Yeah.
screen really quick. Okay. So there are 3 different tiers here. So the first tier, you get like the assessments, and you get some sample lessons. So 22 sample lessons. What tier do they want to get if they want to be a founding member and get everything?
The complete classroom. So the last one, $9.99.
Okay. And this is, guys, there are a lot of different curricula out there. There's a lot of different ones out there, and $9.99 a month is insanely cheap for everything that you're getting. So I mean, I've looked at them. I've been members of a bunch of them, and for what you're getting. And how many lessons do you have right now?
600. There'll be 603 by the end of the evening, because I have 3 that I have to review. So we'll be at 603. So there's 4 levels of speaking. So beginner, elementary, intermediate, and advanced. There are 6 levels of core curriculum or general English. There's 1 level of phonics, which is focused on letters and sounds. There are 2 test prep levels so far, the KET and the B2 First FCE. And there are 2 sets of writing, so beginner and intermediate. And there's some seasonal lessons. Oh, and there's a whole grammar thing, intermediate grammar as well, with 25 or 30 lessons in it. Yeah, so all the additional lessons come. So if you have the complete classroom curriculum and I add new lessons, you immediately have access to those. And if you purchase and so the founding members that's the $9.99 rate. That's everything, Teacher Hub and complete classroom curriculum, everything in the package for $9.99. And then after that, our founding rate will go away. So the price will go up. The Teacher Hub will become an additional add-on. And you would still, if you bought the complete classroom curriculum, get all of the lessons that were available at the time and any that are added. But it would cost you more than $10 a month. So yeah. There's lots of things. So if these are supplemental, we've got speaking lessons, there's all sorts of things here. The advanced speaking, if you are doing any sort of adult classes or teen classes, then these advanced speaking lessons are awesome, because there are 6 different categories. These categories align with exam prep categories kids need to be able to talk about, but it is non-linear. So as long as you choose some from natural world, some from educational learning, some from each of the categories, it doesn't matter which ones you choose. You can do it based on interest. So I have a student, and basically with her, I say, okay, today we're doing science and technology, And these are all of the science and technology lessons that are available. What do you want to talk about? Right? Sometimes I've picked one because I have one I really like, but lots of times I just let her pick. And so there are 85 advanced speaking lessons. You can see the numbers over on the side. And the advanced speaking lessons are, you can use them for 25-minute classes or you can use them for 50-minute classes. I'm just going to close the side. So this is how I usually would teach in advanced speaking. And we've got some warm-up cards in terms of definitions. We've got some vocabulary matching. We have a little short article. And can we get on how to work? Yes, absolutely, Diane. You can. So anytime you want, if you have questions, reach out to me. Hello@Florentis Learning. I'll jump on a Zoom call with you. I'll answer your questions. I'll make sure that you have everything that you need to get started. You can use the video or not use the video. They're all less than 5 minutes, but there are speaking questions with that. There's a main discussion topic where you can type and add your pros and cons. You can explore other viewpoints. So, and then you can talk about opinions and agreeing or disagreeing with them. So this is sort of a standard format. Some of them have a really cool role play activity. Some of them have a fill in the blank vocabulary game. So they vary a little bit, but the lessons are all the advanced lessons have been super popular because there aren't lessons like that available. So when you start to get kids that move up into those older levels, it's like, well, what do I teach with them? And you could teach the intermediate writing with them, and you could teach the advanced speaking lessons, and then you could grab the FCE vocabulary classes and just focus on vocab and writing and speaking. And you've got a whole curriculum for really advanced students as well. And these ones are, so there's 16 different writing lessons already set in here. And so you can use these. Decibel, you're being noisy.
That's okay if it makes you feel any better. My washer was going, so I've kept myself muted. I don't know if you can hear it. I've kept myself muted mostly the whole time because
Yes.
this is all in the $9.99 plan.
You get everything for $9.99.
If you're watching this before Monday, if you're watching the replay, but everything is included in the complete classroom. Like it's I know it sounds like she's like, wait a second, is it all there? Yeah, it's all there. It's a lot.
And these lessons are super fun. So these are newer ones, my phonics lessons. I'm still adding to them, but I really like them. And I'm a little bit biased because I think they're super fun. And I have a student that really, really likes them. So
I haven't seen these yet.
I don't know that you've seen these. So we've got the how are you? These, of course, are draggable. I have a student that always drags this one every time we see this screen, or he drags this one and he tells me that he's going to eat me. And I'm like, no, not eat me. Eat something, but not me. We have an ABC song. And then these ones have characters. So this one is Hal Hippo. And so we can click on them and then we can see it with all of our H's, Hal Hippo. And then we have the H's that Hal says. And then we have drawing. And then we have a chant with sound.
It's just not sharing the sound on the screen share. I promise the sound is there.
Okay, there's sound. Anyway, it's like H says. The nice thing about these is that I find in a lot of sounds for this level, it's like so fast. And I'm like, my student can't deal with it that fast. So these are me talking and well, they're pretty slow, but there's puzzles in these. So the students put together the pieces. And then this is a review from a previous one. They already know this one. This is Cam Cat.
That's why we kept hearing a cat. It's right in the curriculum.
Yeah, it's right there. And the clicking, so you get to review your letters. This is Ned Narwhal, and go away, Ned. Dan Dog, and Come on. I wanted the goat to come up. Anyway, Gus Goat is in there. We see him flipping through, but we can't get him to appear. And then we're matching. So the students get to drag and match the letters, big and little. This one, they're listening to the sounds and they're choosing the right letter. And there's a couple of those. And then there is this one. This is the monster that eats everything. So we say our letter names. So this is E, or you can practice letter sounds, and our S. And as he drag him, he eats the letters. Sometimes the students like to eat the letters really, really fast. So you might have to go back and just restart it so that you get your letters back. And then this one is a disappearing sort of puzzle one where it's like, what does it say? It says Iggy. So Iggy is there. And then we have another one with some sound choices. This one, you can click on an egg and the egg will crack. And we get O. So this is fun. The kids like clicking on eggs. And then this one has you listen and you build the word, which we can all tell is going to be had. And when we have had, Hal gets to go across the bridge. This one is another one, and this one is going to be his, but you can listen and figure it out. And so it's practicing encoding. So you'll notice that we do decoding and encoding, and then you get your penguin, and your penguin can read your letters. So his, and you can drag your penguin around. He's fun. This one is another one where we're building a hot. And so our bees, you can drag your bees around and build hot. And this one, Hal goes up the ladder. So at, hat. We read them all the way up. When Hal gets to the top, Hal can go into his little clubhouse. And he's got his trophy in there. Does it have curriculum sheets that can be sent to students? So yes, so a lot of them already have sheets that can go with them. And if you're using the Teacher Hub, then those are automatically attached to your parent homework and they just get the little links. So they are all there. This one is an eating one. Yum, 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 hum. So we eat things. We like
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that the Teacher Hub automatically attached the PDFs, the homework to it.
Yep. And they're all in QQ Docs. So even if you're teaching Chinese students, then they can open them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And of course we have our stars. And then our decodable reading. And then we have a game. And so we have to read our un words, run, nun, pun. These are only letters that they have already learned the sounds of. And then a goodbye song. And then, of course, there's a phonics thing, but you're not using that if you're using the Teacher Hub. So the phonics lessons are fun. There's more of those to come, but I've been working on adding the phonics lessons. And anyway, they're fun. They're lots of fun. Oh, I was going out of that. If you do this, because I, for the longest time, was like, where did my thing go? Your list is at the bottom, so you can scroll. And if you don't like it there, just put it back. There's your class content. There's your information back. But if we go back to the parent report, see here, we've got flashcards, homework, game. So if I go to homework, yes, 25 minutes. This is the workbook for the food and food groups lesson unit. So you can see there's a sheet for each of the lessons in the unit. This is level 2. And then we can fill in words, we can write, we can draw our own food groups, and we can color these pictures and we can stick them on our little food guide. And we have a crossword puzzle so that we can search. So, but these are already here, right? So their parents, like there's flashcards. And you'll notice at the top, it's going to QQ Docs. So we've got flashcards. Parents can print these or put them on their phone or do whatever. And this one also has a game. So they don't all have games yet, but some of them do. Most of them are word wall games. And the word wall games do work in China, or at least they work for all of my students. Oh, popcorn. I should have paid attention. And yeah, so they're lots of fun. But those links are here. They also are available underneath the lesson. So if you're not using the Teacher Hub, you can pull the links yourself, or you can see them yourself there. But all of the links automatically attach for the kids.
So really quick, I would like to ask, I'm going to put us back on the camera. Okay. I would like to ask really quick, what students is Florentis good for? Like, who does it go from? Like, I know people are like, oh, well, I'm teaching like this age or this kind of student. Like, who would you say it's best for?
So we have lessons for your beginners, for your very, very beginners. Your zero English people, there's lessons. You can use level 1, which literally starts with all about me. What's your name? How old are you? And you could use the phonics. So you can pair those together. They're a great match. Then as you move up in the lessons, if you're strictly focused on the core curriculum, the lessons probably work from like sort of that 3 to 14-ish. But if you look at the other resources and the supplemental resources, you can use, so there's grammar lessons under the supplemental. I've used those with adults. So I've used the speaking lessons with adults. And so it really, and then even some of the units, and at some point I'm going to sort of put together like an adult guide if you're teaching adults. Some of the units in the core curriculum you completely would use with adults. So there's things like Let's Go Shopping, and there's things like there's one about air travel, and there's one about doctor. So some of those things you could completely use with adults as well. And the nice thing is that level 4 up don't look the same as levels 1 to 3. So they're similar, right? And so you can see the branding and you can see the consistency, but the characters change. They look a little bit older. Same with like the KET lessons or the FCE lessons. They look a little bit different so that they don't have necessarily 3D animation pictures, but those 3D animation pictures, I mean, if you consider Disney, Pixar, all of those things, they really do apply to, pretty well everyone these days. They're not going to be like visually jarring.
So unless you're teaching like medical terminology English or like marketing English or construction worker English, like, so unless you're teaching something super specific, it's going to work for all of your English level people. And like,
Yeah.
I think the medical is probably the only one that's like realistic. Really.
Yeah.
But
Like the thing is that like I have an adult student in an amazing talker in a marketplace, and that's actually where the grammar lessons came from. And I threw them up there because I'm like, well, I built these lessons, and he specifically wanted to focus on improving his grammar. And then one of the other teachers, Jay, was like, oh, yeah, I used those with one of my intermediate 13-year-olds the other day. He's like, they're awesome. And I'm like, oh, great. I put them up there because I'm like, I've got them built. I'll put them there. Maybe someone will use them. But he, jumped right into those and used them, right? The vocabulary lessons for B2 FCE, it's like, completely something that you would do. So this is like literally core tense, present and past tense, right? We've got our little cards, right? And then, and actually, if you close this, it's better, which is how you'd usually teach. And then you have a quiz, right? So you are working through this. There is a hint if you need a hint, right? Routines versus temporary action, right? So normally, right, drinks coffee, but this morning is drinking tea, and it gives you feedback and it tells you why. And then you go to the next question. And this one is so this one is designed for to be 225 minutes if you want, or 150. And so you come down here and you've got a few, then taking that same practice, right? You practiced your grammar, and now you're going to use your grammar and apply it in speaking. And then if you've got a longer lesson, you can continue. Or if maybe you need to come back and you need more practice, you can continue. So it's got that sort of that little division where you can sort of pause for 25-minute lessons. And then there's an additional practice resource as well. That one is just an external link, but that has good examples on it. So that's like these lessons work, right? The topics are fine, right? I, read a great book when my brother something and interrupted me. So this is like the content works whether it's adults or teens who need to practice grammar. And that's now prompted the fact that I need to make beginner grammar lessons. And so we'll probably make beginner grammar lessons as well. But
So funny. I'm in teacher mode right now. I don't know why I'm in teacher mode right now, and I want to like send you stars, but I can't. I don't like because I'm on here because I'm on here and like we're on like in like a almost like a classroom and looking at classroom stuff. I like so bad want to send you stars for doing such a good job today, but I can't do it. So here are your virtual stars.
yeah. But ultimately, you've got everything, right? You've got your back office organized, you've got your parent communication organized. You have all of these records. I've used everything. I've used spreadsheets. I have like this massive Notion. There's a video about me with my Notion, and my Notion is super cool. But it is not it's not integrated. It's not with the lessons, right? So you still have to go and create that and add all of those things. And yes, it works. This is better because I don't have to copy and paste comments to parents in WeChat. I give them a link. Here's your information, right? I don't have to copy and paste to create learning plans for new students. It makes me look like I'm very professional. Here it is, right? And that, especially when you're working with new parents who are like, oh, this is going to set you apart from those other teachers who are just saying, oh yeah, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. They can click on the links, they can see what's going on. Do I have US money lessons? No, but that would be easy for me to add. I'm Canadian, but I can certainly add US money. I think your money's a little bit boring in terms of colors.
Well,
But I can add
have
some US money.
we have even less colors now because the penny is gone.
Oh, you guys got rid of your penny too. We've
Yes.
had no penny for a while.
Yep, we just got rid of the penny
Um,
like 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah. We've had no penny for a few years because it cost more to make pennies than they were worth. So they got rid of them. But
So you can't give me
yeah,
a penny you can't say a penny for your thoughts anymore. Do you say that in Canada?
yes, yeah. You
Oh, I
could say a
can't
dime for your
anymore.
thoughts, I
Yeah,
guess. Or
inflation.
a nickel for
Inflation
your
went
thoughts.
up. Thoughts are
Inflation
no
of,
longer
of
pennies.
thoughts. Yeah. So the one thing, Diane, is that a lot of the things that are added, like for instance, the KET test prep lessons, I teach B2 first at the moment. I've taught KET before, but a teacher was like, I need some KET test prep lessons. Do you have any? And I'm like, no, but I can make you some. And so, we've got the first 4 units on there. So, the advanced speaking, I had beginner, elementary, intermediate, and I was like, I know I need advanced. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in here. Have to figure this out. And then another teacher was like, well, I'd like lessons like this. And I was like, okay. And now we have 85 of them. So, it's like, I know the advanced speaking lessons, there's lots of them because I have a teacher who literally sends me like Facebook messages and like, it's like, can you make a lesson about Edward Snowden? I think that would be cool. Or can you make a lesson about Salem witch trials?
Well,
And so we
didn't
have.
you do one for the horse for me?
Yes, yes. Snippy the horse is there for you. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was this really cool thing that I asked for a lesson on, and it's about for like a speaking lesson because I'm into like all that like weird true crime stuff, and like weird stuff, and I'm also into horses, and I was learning about this horse that like was supposedly abducted by UFOs. That's like what the unofficial stance on it was. But it's kind of like a is that in the debates or a no, it's not a debate. It's like a it's
It's
not
in
a
the
debate.
advanced speaking lessons, but that you could. It's got pros and cons. It's got choices. It's got opinions. Maybe culture. I think it's under unsolved mysteries.
Oh, that's so
Um,
cool that you have an unsolved mystery one.
Legends of Snippy. Yeah, here he is. So and there's another example, right? There's a vocabulary preview sheet, and so you can send it afterwards or before. Um, they really like it. It's got just a bunch of vocabulary activities. So the vocabulary words that go with this lesson that Jillian requested are mutilated, phenomenon, pathologist, and sensationalism. So, warm up of, you found something strange you couldn't explain, strange tracks in the snow. Would your first guess be a natural cause, a prank, or something mysterious, right? Matching, we've got an article summary about the actual case, some questions about it, and then the main discussion topic is which explanation for Snippy's death do you find more convincing, the UFO mystery or the scientific explanation? And you add your reasons, and then there's like 3 different experts who have. One is a paranormal investigator and author, one is a pathologist, and one is a UFO watchtower owner.
And there's
And
really
so
no right answer for this. There's no.
no, exactly. Like there's no right answers, right? But it's a I know I think Jay's taught it a few times. And it's cool because it's something you can talk about, right? Like there's lots of talking. And so, yeah, like they need it when they visit the US. Oh, US money. Yes, they need it when they visit the US. It could go into the travel actually, because there's travel lessons. So US money would fit right in there for
Yeah,
sure.
they don't need this one for visiting the US.
No, unless they're going to Area 51. And there's an Area 51 lesson. So there's lots of super cool topics under advanced speaking.
That was
It's
another thing that just happened. There was a YouTuber, sorry, this is like my outside of teaching interest, but there was just a YouTuber that he used to go and like do all of these crazy things and like try to break into Area 51. And he did a YouTube where he actually broke into Area 51 and then he like left for 2 years. They were completely gone for 2 whole years. They're assuming they went to jail, but they came back. They came back and like made one video and they're like, okay, everything is like, don't go there. There's nothing there. And they were like, really, like, it sounded like someone was like making them say it was kind of weird. And I'm sure that they told him like, hey, you want to get out of jail, you gotta, talk
yeah.
about this. But yeah.
So there's, like there's just lots and lots of topics, right? Like, and whether you're teaching something where you need sort of variety, whether you're teaching something that you need something really structured or sequential, you sort of got all of those things. And even the beginner lessons, like the speaking lessons, I tend to throw those in with my core curriculum, right? Like, where are you from? Okay, let's have a lesson and a discussion about where are you from. And the lessons, especially the lower level lessons, I built them because I needed something more, right? I've used a bunch of different things and they just weren't working for my beginner students. And I needed something that was super engaging and they can click and they can choose and they can do things and be engaged. What is the price after Monday? That's a really good question, Diane. I haven't fully committed to what the price is. I can tell you it's more than $9.99. The Teacher Hub add-on is probably going to be $4.99. And the lessons I had indicated our regular price would be $14.99. So so Monday, you could be looking at our full price of $14.99, whereas right now it's $9.99, and then you'd have to add on the Teacher Hub if you wanted it to. But now is the best time to get it. It's the cheapest price you will ever get the lessons for, and by this time next week there'll be 610 lessons. Like they're just will. So the lessons just keep expanding and growing. And, if you are like, I really need this and I can't find it anywhere, then let me know and we can make it. Can I show you? Okay. Yeah, I can show one of my songs. My songs are all so the songs, so the phonics songs are all like H H H Hal says H. Yes, Teacher Hub is included in $9.99. Yeah, everything is included. But the songs, if you go to the YouTube channel, you can see all of the songs that are available. There's like 25 or 30 of them. And they are fun and catchy and
Hold on. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna share the screen, and I'm gonna uh because I have it so that my audio tab is shared.
excellent.
Okay, hold on a second. Where's my Chrome tab? I want to go to YouTube, go to Florentis Learning. Make sure I'm actually sharing it here. We're gonna go away here. Okay, so if you go to the Florentis Learning, and then
There's a whole
wait,
song.
is it this one? Is it
Yeah,
this?
yeah, you're on the right spot. Keep
Oh,
going
okay.
right there.
So like this
Children's
one.
English songs. Yes.
This is my home, my happy, happy home. Come inside, come and see my family and me. How many rooms are in the house? Let's count them, 1, 2, 3. There's a bedroom where I sleep and a kitchen. Come and cook with me. This is my house, yes it is. It's yellow, green or blue. This is my house, yes it is. There's a room for me and you. Where is mommy, where is dad? They're in the dining room, not bad. We eat together, yum, yum, yum. Then sleep when the day is done. Where's the kitchen? Here it is. What do you do there? I cook. Where's the bedroom? Up the stairs. What do you do there? I sleep. This is my house. Yes, it is. Bright and warm and new. This is my home, my happy home. There's a room for me and you. Yeah, a room for me and you.
like over here dancing to it.
The other thing is that the songs, because the songs have been custom designed, I've written them to go with the lessons. Like how many rooms are in your home, right? Is a question in the lesson, right? You know, where is the, what room is this? Or, what do you do there? I sleep. Those are words and questions and phrases that they see in the lessons. And so they're all tied together. And instead of having just a random song from the internet, right? The songs have been designed to work with the lessons, the vocabulary, the phrases, all of those things. Do I sing it with them during my lessons? Some of my students sing, some of my students don't. By the fifth lesson in a unit, they often know the words. They know the words to the warm-up songs pretty quickly. They're catchy. I know most of them because I've heard them lots of times now. But yeah, so we don't necessarily sing, but the students hear it, they see the words, they hear it over and over again, and it's good for developing listening comprehension, and it's good just for hearing them in context, and yeah, they're fun. They're fun. They're
What
catchy.
I always do, I always put myself on mute during the lessons because I do sing the lessons with them, but they don't need to hear me sing because there's going to be that delay between like me singing and whatever. So like I'll be going, I'll be dancing, I'll be singing it and everything. I will be on mute so they don't hear me. Yeah.
But the lessons, the songs are all of them are fun. So
Um,
um,
I think that we've gone a really, really long time and we're gonna wrap this up. I know that Lori had requested a video on how to teach writing. I said we're not going to get into that here because that's a whole other video. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I'll share in the school group too. If you're watching the replay and you want to see that you want to join the school group, it's totally free. And I'll put the link in the description box too. But I will make a YouTube video here for you on how to teach writing lessons. My niche is actually kids that don't like to write, like kids that hate writing. That's where my specialty is. So that's something I can do for you. And then for anybody who wants to join Florentis Learning or use the curriculum, the link is in the description box. I shared it in the chat if you're watching this live. Um, definitely recommend it. I've watched this grow. By the way, Megan, she is not new to creating curriculum. She was creating curriculum for a different company that I'm not going to mention the name of last year. And she went on her own this year. And without being held back by another company's structure, I guess I'll put it that way, without being held back. I have watched Florentis completely flourish this year. This is so much better than any curriculum that I've seen out there. Just because in the fact that it's structured and formatted so that it like you can walk into a classroom and not have to prepare. There was somebody in the school group today that was talking about their lesson prep is taking up their entire day, and they're making good money working for a company, but it's not really good money when you put in together all of the lesson prep that is required for it. Are you coming up here too? Oh, it's a kitty club. Baby. But it's not, it's not good money if you're spending 90% of your time creating curriculum and then 10% teaching. You're not doing it right. And that's why there's so many things out there in this literally, if you're teaching ESL, I mean, if you're teaching other things, there are other things out there that you can use too. Let me know if you need it, because I've got other resources. But if you're teaching English, if you're teaching ESL, this is where it's at, because they have everything and you don't have to prepare anything. Literally go in there with your assessment. Now you've got the teacher hub and you already know exactly like what lesson you have to be opening up to. You don't have to be keeping spreadsheets, and like we did something before teaching like how to use Notion. You don't have to use this. This is all that in one package. So yeah. So thank you, Megan. Thank you guys for staying with us through this. And I'll see you guys all later. And then really quick, just want to give a quick reminder that on Monday, we're going to have our social media review. It's not going to be open to YouTube. So you like, if you're on YouTube, you're not going to see it. You have to be in the school group. And we're going to go through and review your teaching social medias so that anybody can post their social media. Megan and I are going to go through and we're going to tell you like how you can improve it so you can acquire more students for your online teaching businesses. And that is for more than just teaching English. You can be teaching, I don't know, gymnastics if you want. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Make sure you subscribe for future things, and I will see you guys